Crazy.
Yomp.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
After all that, we're here and we
It's time.
I didn't turn
Are
on
we
music.
live?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, but I didn't turn on music. I completely forgot about music.
No music.
No
If you
music.
want, I can send you the ambience that I'm using.
Oh, well, if you're gonna play something, you can just play it, and I will unmute your stream.
Okay.
Whoa, there it is. Whoa, scary. Whoa.
Oh, is it there?
It's there. Hold on, I need to see how loud it's playing.
Is it please amp?
It's pretty loud. Hold on, let me.
Yeah, my volume is all messed up, and I'm at a point where I no longer have the capacity to fix it.
Okay. Okay. It is time.
Okay.
It's OC Yappy Hour.
Hello, everyone.
It's where,
Are we here?
We've been here for
Are
a
we
minute.
connected?
For a minute and 19 seconds.
Everyone say happy birthday to my mom.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to my mom.
Happy
No!
Ah!
I'm being attacked by a Jim Henson puppet. Or the Fraggles.
We've gone too long without being sillies together, and now it's leaked into this. But we are gathered here today to discuss our projects as we do. What? We're here today to discuss our various workings and doings.
What?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Pal opened this like a funeral. We are gathered here today, and then Fawn, just in the background, you start going like Igor was welcome to the funeral. But Igor's just kind of like making the vibe weird because he can't control his heavy breathing.
You're invited to the funeral, but you just keep making the vibe weird, man. I think I need to ask you to step out. You're making the vibe at our funeral weird. Anyways.
Taking a sip of
Welcome.
water.
Lovely, beautiful people.
Hello.
It's the yappening.
It's Yappy Hour.
I think I need to save the picture for Yappy Hour on my phone for the 18th time because I can't find
Oh
it.
my fucking god!
Oh, fuck, I'm just gonna tweet from my computer. This is evil. Anyways.
We have to post on X, the Everything app.
The Everything Happens Here app. Twitter.com is what I type in. Fuck you.
My book.
MJ's not talking, but MJ's going first.
Okay. Okay, I was just making sure that everything was okay.
MJ fell silent.
So I'm talking about the my TTRPG that I'm working on. It's called Morak of Madness. So
Yup.
I missed out on the last Yappy Hour, so I have a lot of stuff to go through. That's why I'm going first. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that we're going to be kind of talking about. So buckle up. But yeah, let's move on. Let's go to our first slide. So on the nature of Morak, so I just wanted to kind of like go into detail on some of the aspects of the kind of the titular main antagonist of the story, and kind of driving force behind most of the plots. So what is Morak? So Morak is effectively a kind of deity, or have you ever heard of what a tulpa is? Effectively, like a spirit or entity conjured from psychic thought. Well, Morak is effectively was created on the day all of the major nations bombed each other out of oblivion.
Okay.
About like 7.6 billion people died. So all these people across the entire world, all in a single moment, screaming out in rage and pain and suffering and death, created something fundamentally deific, but fundamentally not human, or fundamentally human. Morak does not like to exist. He is.
Tonight's top worry. You
Whoa.
just had a
Are you kidding me?
that your apartment is in trouble.
Hang on.
It could be smoke damage, theft, or too much caffeine, but with renter's insurance through Geico, your stuff is covered. Phew.
Why can't I skip you?
Sorry.
I hate you.
Sorry.
No, I'm not talking to you. All right, let's hope Geico doesn't jump scare us again.
You and Geico.
So, Morak is effectively just a being born from pain and hatred, and thus he kind of intends to inflict that same pain and hatred onto everyone who is still alive. It's a very much kind of I have no mouth and I'm a scream type situation where I am suffering, I have no way of escaping it, so I'm going to make you suffer just as much as I am. He is kind of trapped between existence and not really existing. He has immense power, but he can't use any of it. It's not, it's blocked off from, he can't materialize in a human form and walk amongst us like Jesus or Vishnu or Buddha, so many other beings. Madarasu can all kind of take on a mortal form and walk amongst the people. He is completely incapable of doing that, and thusly he is forced to just watch us and seethe as he watches us. So basically most confrontations online. What?
No, I just like the comparison of Morak to like just a hater, just a
Yeah,
Just a hater.
he's just the ultimate hater.
to the smiling mask with the crying Wojak meme. So Morak's influence, so all powerful yet impotent, kind of doesn't make any sense, right? But he has these incredible powers, but can't really use them in a direct way. He needs to pass them on to other people so that they can use his powers to a greater extent. And this is where his apostles come. Apostles are effectively people who have renounced their mortality, renounced their humanity, for the sake of becoming something greater than what they are, but fundamentally less than human. They are monsters. They do not have a true human soul anymore. They are beings of pure vindictiveness. Well, not pure vindictiveness. There are still remnants of humanity within them. They are fundamentally sorry, I keep saying fundamentally. They are monsters, basically. They are very powerful monsters that are able to use Morak's abilities when he can't. In many ways, his powers are a lot like poison. He can't just, materialize before you and beat your skull in. So he needs to kind of drip feed his strength into the world to try and poison us like cyanide, which is why he needs kind of natural vectors to spread his influence. So one of the natural vectors is radiation. So on the surface, where the radiation is strongest, Morak's influence is also so he kind of rides the radiation down from the skies to afflict people in even more severe ways. So Morak's domain. So Far From Dead. So unlike most post-apocalypses where the areas that were hit hardest by bombs and explosions are very dead and desolate, Morak's domain is very, very alive. There are constant mutants and monsters roaming streets. Morak is constantly working on, or has his apostles working on his many works of art, his many wonders that he creates in the world. They are very much still these kind of functional areas. Just they are now completely devoted to him. However, because of how awful and evil Morak is, these areas very much kind of resemble the mouth of hell, where it's just, it's pure madness and anger and people attacking each other. Morak's domain is growing. It grows, like I said, through natural vectors, so not just things like radiation, but his influence can also spread through things like disease or like poison. I had an idea for Morak's domain eventually spreads to envelop a radio station, and he takes over that radio station, and now everyone who listens to it for long periods of time goes crazy and starts attacking people. So, apostles. So, the right hand of Morak, they were all once mortal people who renounced their mortality to become the eyes and ears of Morak. Morak can see the world, but he can't interact with it. So they have effectively become his arms and legs. When they go out to attack settlements, they do so under Morak's domain. They are not completely loyal. However, they are largely loyal as their powers are entirely dependent on him. It's kind of like being a warlock, where you have all this power, but you also are completely attached to the one who provides that power. So these kind of twisted acolytes are very much like him. They delight in hurting others simply for the feeling of kind of power and importance that it gives them, and the power that it feeds to Morak, as Morak literally feeds off of human suffering. Then there is the miasma. The miasma, if the apostles are the right hand of Morak to bludgeon the remaining humans of the remaining people of Earth into submission, the miasma is the left hand to silently spread his influence. When you go to the surface, to the areas where Morak is most strong, is at his strongest, there's quite literally a red haze that fills everywhere. It's like a red fog that is the miasma. It is a kind of fog that is produced from an unknown source, and to exist in this fog for any kind of extended time it's almost like a carcinogen. Just the more you're exposed to it, just the numbers are ticking up. Just the chances of you being afflicted with an awful disease or some type of mutating touch or madness, just pure madness, just gradually increases the more time you spend in a place. So fleshing out the surface. So I've kind of divided the surface into separate areas, not just for like the ease of categorization, but also to make it easy for players to kind of plan things out. So you can kind of create boxes where, okay, so here we're going to start here in a safe zone, then we're going to move into here, into one of the gray zones, which will be harder, and then we'll move into a red zone, which is the hardest. So, red zones. Red zones are Morak's domain. They are where the bombs fell and are technically still falling. So, Morak has some type of strange influence over time. And people have noted that in Morak's domain, the bombs that fell, like 100 years ago, the mushroom clouds from them still float, hanging in the air, refusing to dissipate, still spreading poison like they had fallen just moments. It's to a point that many scavengers and stalkers literally have names for the different bombs and kind of use them as landmarks when moving around cities, because a lot of people there's a lot of stuff on the surface that is still useful. There's still food, there's still weapons, there's still materials to use. So a lot of people kind of go into red zones in the hope of getting more equipment and thus having a better life. So in the red zones, mutants and demons rule. Morak is all-powerful here. This is where all kinds of monsters linger, and it's generally the most dangerous, or one of two most dangerous places to go. The other most dangerous will be at the end. So yeah. Gray zones. So gray zones were areas that were either not directly hit by a bomb or suffered minimal damage, and have effectively been abandoned for the undead as Morak's influence became stronger and stronger. They still stand as relatively put together. However, they are completely abandoned and free of people. The only beings that really exist here are ghosts and the kind of offshoot mutants of Morak. More like creatures that were created incidentally by his powers. They are not wholly loyal to him, but they are still dangerous creatures. Ghosts are effectively, we're not quite sure what they are, but they appear to be kind of shadowy remnants of people who used to live in places of abundance that have now turned into bombed out hellscapes. White zones might sound welcoming, but they aren't entirely. White zones include areas that were very untouched by the bombs and have remained in a way almost cut off from the rest of the world, almost like a micro. This is many like big metros became white zones as people fled deeper and deeper and just abandoned these areas. and they have been left completely untouched. They oftentimes are very beautiful and have many references and iconic elements of the world that we previously called home, but no longer do. It isn't entirely clear what happens to these places, but there are some kinds of anomalies that linger there that can make them quite dangerous. It is often kind of stated that the lonely places of the world grow in hunger. There's this belief, or more so, there's this strange force that a lot of people feel when entering white zones, where they kind of have this feeling that they need to stay, that it's better for them to stay here, even though there's no food or like adequate shelter. There's just this inherent need for them to stay, and oftentimes people who venture into white zones will find corpses of long dead travelers who they themselves found their way here and couldn't resist the call of it, and they just curled up in a corner and wasted away. Blue zones, sometimes called sumps. So these are the lowest area. So these are one of the lower areas. Blue zones are kind of safe areas. They mainly are made up of kind of the maintenance areas of the world. You know, maintenance tunnels, metros, bunkers, and mines that just, have been connected over the years and have been built through, and now they just kind of go on and on like an endless kind of subterranean jungle. As I said, these are kind of the safest areas. This is where most people live nowadays. This area is far enough away from Morak, but it's not deep enough to be the deep dark. So the deep. The deep is the lowest regions of the tunnels. We're not really sure at what time these places were made or for what purposes. But there are areas even below the blue zones, below the sumps, and we know very little about them. They are usually sealed off, and they're sealed off for good reason. There are lots of kind of legends about monsters, about forces similar to Morak that live down there and are just kind of waiting for us. However, despite the best laid plans of mice and men, the deep is still alive, and it still desperately wants us to interact with it. And so oftentimes, even though these areas will remain sealed, characters' stories will lead them to either be forced down there, or something will, a sinkhole will open up in a blue zone leading to the deep, and, a large group of people fell in, and now you and your friends must go down there to see how many you can save. The deep is often a very confusing and nonsensical place. People have found strange things there, like reconstructions of homes, just, miles and miles and miles below the earth. And they are very kind of confusing places. So, fleshing out on spirituality. So, there's a lot of different kind of, I've been thinking of a lot of different religions and things, but I want it to remain, I don't want it to be like D&D, where, I worship this god, so I go to this specific place when I die. I want it to be very kind of nebulous and gray. We're not really sure what is beyond this. And so I kind of had a dream of this place that I think I really like, where when a character kind of either passes away or comes close to death, they enter a kind of a strange alternate version of the surface world. It's very reminiscent of it, but there's something anomalous about it. It feels neither cold nor warm. It's all the color is kind of drained from this area. It's completely gray. The sun is kind of eclipsed is locked in a constant eclipse. Buildings seem to be kind of broken apart and are floating midair, just chunks of it floating away, but never quite making its way fully from the rest of its body. And no matter where you are or how passed away or neared your death, there is this constant churning storm that is just around you at all times, just swirling around you. And you are directly in the eye of it, and you can feel the wind kind of bracing you. But you are still just kind of sitting right in the eye of it. And I feel like this is kind of an interesting but I guess solemn way for kind of characters to say goodbye to iconic NPCs. Like, I have this idea in my mind, like a player character almost gets killed, like gets reduced to 0 HP, alongside a fellow NPC who does end up failing to recover and dies, and they both appear in this area in the kind of the storm, and you get this kind of moment of shared dialogue, and you kind of come to the NPC you're talking to, like, seems to have some kind of preternatural knowledge that they can't return, that if you wait around long enough, you will come back. They can't. There's something that they just know, that their body back in the real world is gone. And now the only thing left for them is to move on, to move forward into the storm. And what lies within it or beyond it, if there even is anything, is entirely unknown. It is entirely, and everyone faces this walk alone. I don't want it to sound like sad or depressing. I want it to sound kind of solemn but powerful. Like, you are bracing yourself and walking alone into kind of the great gray yonder. So, ghosts. So, I mentioned them a little bit before. We'll go into some more detail. So, ghosts are remnants of the pre-war. They are people who either died on Doomsday or died very soon after, and they have effectively become wrapped up in the timeless nature of Morak's influence. They don't work for him. They don't follow him like his many mutants and minions do. Instead, they simply linger, unable to fully exist, but unable to move on into the storm. They are just kind of trapped here. And there's some part of them that kind of knows what they are. They know that there's something off about them, that they're not quite real. And they can sometimes become malevolent. They in a way kind of like want what you have, another chance at life. And they oftentimes appear as just kind of vaguely shadowy figures in you can see them from a distance. Like one will be standing in the one lit room in a huge half collapsed apartment building, but by the time you reach that room to see who is in there, all the lights will be switched off and whoever was in there is now gone. So it's very kind of spooky. So fleshing out the red zones. So I just want to kind of go into a bit more detail on them. So I want the I don't want the red zones to feel like an actually like structured like city, but there is some level of coordination here, and I have this idea of a monster of a kind of cyclops. These kind of large, Drandy-looking creatures that lumber and roam through the cities with this one kind of big spotlight-like eye that they use to kind of search for any wanderers throughout the city. Anyone who who wanders too close to the surface. Because all Morak wants is more people to hurt, to inflict his anger upon them. So these Cyclops will kind of find people, gather them, and then bring them to one of Morak's many idols to be kind of shaped into something else. So tar pits are a relatively recent idea that I had. So I have these kind of monster ideas called warhounds. They are effectively what remains of the soldiers who were fighting on the front lines, who were not told about the bombs falling. Their superiors did not tell them that that doomsday was happening. So they were just left to get, incinerated. But when Morak formed, he kind of scooped them all up and reshaped them into his personal kind of kill squads, known as warhounds. And I have this idea that they can never really truly die. If you kill them, they just decay rapidly and then surface. And for a long time I was thinking about how would I make that work? How would we make that visibly shown rather than them just Gmod respawning on the surface, just and so I had this idea. I was watching Death Stranding, and I had this idea of kind of these large tar pits, these kind of black goo similar to the PTs, where these big kind of oceans of black goo close to battlefields and cities, where minions of Morak, after being destroyed, will crawl back out of, kind of tear their way out of these kind of sloppy, dark oceans or sloppy, dark lakes, and begin their attack once again. These fields of goo formed once again on Doomsday, and now they kind of act as an eternal respawn point for Warhound and a couple of other of Morak's minions. So Morak's artwork. So Morak, though he is mostly defined by his anger and his hatred, he sees himself as something of an artist. He wants to create these effigies of pain, these monuments to punish us, to scare us, and to torture us. So he will oftentimes take people who are brought from the surface to his realm, and he will reshape them into, if he doesn't mutate them into a monstrous minion, turn them into an apostle, then he will turn them into one of his many living, these horrifying kind of monuments made of people, like sewn together and glued together and fused on a molecular level. It is, so I've mentioned before, a type of monster called a Tower of Babel, where it's basically a bunch of people that have been fused together into a literal tower of. These are one of his greatest kind of wonders, his works of art. These people who are in eternal torment, who are constantly looking up at Morak, fused together, and are constantly chanting in different languages, never able to truly understand each other. And this is all kind of Morak's big designs. He's very arrogant. He sees himself as something of a master craftsman. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot that can be done for these people. There's not really a way to unglue someone from Morak's structures. At least not after I have this idea that they kind of slowly become more and more a part of the structures. So maybe if you catch them early on, you can find, like, if an NPC is kidnapped very early, if you can get a hold of them, you can stop it from happening. But for the most part, the people who are in these things are not really savable, and they, unfortunately, the most you can do for them is to destroy them. So, enemy factions. So this is a relatively kind of recent part. I will say, like, a bit of a content warning for, like, kind of scary extremist factions. So kind of one of the first ones I've been working on are kind of fascists who have kind of returned. They believe in destroying other cultures, and that their culture is somehow better or purer, and they are effectively just dangerous extremists that are focused on enacting kind of like the annihilation of other groups onto others. The two primary ones that I've been covering are the Blue Army, who are kind of like a British version of the Reich, and the so-called militia, who are a more Russian. They're unfortunately, kind of hysterically, though they talk such big talk and they think they're so cool, ultimately these guys are just historical cosplayers. They are desperately trying to mimic something that they read in a book that they think is so cool, desperately trying to be stormtroopers from Star Wars, but they fundamentally misunderstand the evil that they are taking part in, and they are just completely crazy. A lot of them have directed their kind of idea of purity and kind of that whole shtick towards mutants. So people who have certain mutations, they might try to kill you. These are I also want to make it clear, so when I say that these are enemy factions, it's not really factions to play at. And so these guys, so like someone falls asleep a little bit too close to a nuclear reactor and suddenly has, grows a third arm or a fourth arm if they're lucky. But that person will be a target of these fucking losers. Yeah, I'm not playing around. They're losers.
Yeah, I like
They're losers,
that.
and they deserve to die.
I like that a lot.
In Minecraft.
In Morak.
So, yeah, in Morak. So, next up are, I was thinking about these guys a lot, and I really like them. I think they're really interesting. But they are the Wardens. So, they're very kind of Judge Dreddy, kind of these, cops from hell, like, they have these insanely strict ideas of what law and legality should be, but they're effectively like a police force that loans themselves out to other settlements to protect them. However, not only do these protections come at extremely high prices, their interpretations of the laws that they abide by are oftentimes so insanely strict that they oftentimes are just as harmful to the settlements they're protecting as the settlement's enemy. So a lot of them get kind of pigeonholed or tricked. They're getting harassed by the neo-fash guys, and they go, "Oh no, we need help. We need someone to protect us from these psychos." Well, there's a group of wardens nearby. Let's rely on them, right? We'll pay them. Well, these guys might just be as crazy with their judge, jury, and executioner way of doing things. They might be just as dangerous. And the next are Cults of Morak. So they're pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot of like political questioning. They are or like kind of political dealings. They don't have a big plan for how to return power, how to make the surface livable again, and all this junk that other groups might have. Cults of Morak, they just want to hurt people. They believe that if they do as Morak does, Morak will somehow help them or bless them or be kind to them in some kind of way. And so they start to, kind of hurt others in crazy rituals. They'll, perform executions. They'll drink blood and eat bodies. And they think that it will make Morak kinder to them, but all they're doing is poisoning themselves, turning themselves from normal humans into more and more frightening monsters. They are effectively just sadistic lunatics. And I think, yeah, that's about it. So, yeah, that's about the long and short of it.
Goddamn.
Yeah. Sorry, I hope I didn't go on for too long.
It's Yappy Hour. Don't apologize for you stole a balloon on Free Balloon Day. Yeah, this shit rules. I like what it's doing. I like what you are working with here.
I like this shit that you did. This is good.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yay.
Any questions?
I
desperately search for the charging cord.
I think the only question I have is a dumb question because my brain is...
Yeah.
No such thing as dumb questions.
No, it's just the layers are underground, right? And I'm pretty sure that's a yes. That's why.
Not all of them. So
dumb question.
So not all of them.
Okay.
So beep, 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 beep. So red zones are on the surface.
Okay.
Gray zones are also on the surface.
Okay.
White zones tend to be either on the surface or just below it. Blue zones tend to be below that. And then below
That's
that
when
is the deep.
Yeah, that's when my question popped up. Was like, is this all underground, or is like I could distinguish? Yes, some of them are on the surface, and others I was just like, wait a second. So that's why I was like, man, my questions. My other notes is just the trapped observer trope for a villain, the horseman of pestilence. So I think I heard it right, but the bombs that destroyed are used as landmarks, which I liked. Morbid reminders.
Yeah,
So,
I like the time distortion aspects of the red zones, where it's like, yep, okay, the forever bomb. It's the fucking forever bomb over here. Be careful.
Yeah, I like fuck this forever bomb. It's fun. It's cool.
It's the forever bomb, but also because time is distorted, there is a grocery store here. So if you get your groceries before the bomb hits.
I just wrote down the tar pits sound fucking cool. So, I just like that as like a cool like trap. So
yeah. I forgot to mention. So if a person dies too close to the tar pit, the tar pit will actually expand.
Hell yeah.
And will absorb,
I don't need to hear anything else. Yeah.
Yeah, it will expand and it will absorb them, and then it will turn them into a warhead.
Oh man, yeah, that's awesome. That is.
This is because the tar pits are becoming my favorite fucking thing.
I love it. I actually really love your idea for like the death place and all of that.
Yeah. Like
thank you.
Yeah, I like the It's interesting because like the underground aspect like kind of has its own thing, and the above ground stuff like kind of reminds me of Stalker in a way. I'm just like, oh yeah, we have to fucking time to go on a goddamn zone excursion and some bullshit's gonna happen.
Yeah, a lot of this came from why is Magma forcing me to freaking log in? Is there a way I can do this without it? No, it's just not letting me.
I don't know.
But
set it up this time.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of the Metro series, and I've also been watching just for because I felt like I've been watching a lot of like videos of ocean storms and hurricane, and just because I like seeing them form and move, and that those two kind of came together and gave me this idea for kind of this gray kind of in between worlds where kind of you gotta kind of trudge alone into kind of the unknown.
Goddamn.
I really like it. It feels really unique.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
And I really like the whole thing you were talking about with the oh my god, like with like dying like at the same time as an NPC, but like needing to leave them behind and stuff. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Funky.
Trying to think of other things.
If I mark you as an approved user, can you now do shit without having to log in?
Oh yeah, we also like
that Morak is just a hater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we like that Mark is just a absolute hater.
I like that Morak's just a hater.
For some reason I wrote cult leader Charles Manson.
I mean, it's always interesting to have. It's an interesting angle to have. Like, it's always interesting to me to have like something very metaphorical given very real form in a way of just like yeah, it's easy. It would be easy to go like, oh, Morak is just like some representation, some like metaphor for hate and violence and stuff. It's just like, no, this is a thing born of hate and violence.
This thing is a thing born of hate and violence, and it just hates.
It feels and it wants nothing more than to just fuck up everything forever.
I really like that Morak isn't just like, oh, like some old god that's just like decided to come in and just start fucking everything over all of a sudden.
It's like, no, Morak is a consequence of her own bullshit. I like it.
The consequences of the actions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you.
Yay!
I wish I could see what people have written, but apparently
it's just
I'm not allowed to.
What the hell?
You can log in with Discord.
Yeah. Yeah, just log in with Discord, I guess. Wee.
Please
Hello.
help.
I see you there.
There you go.
I see your.
Who's drawing a line?
Hey, I need my own space.
Go above me. I'm going sideways.
What?
Why are you going sideways, man?
Because I can't do the column thing. Last time I did the column thing, it fucked me up.
Always playing by your own damn rules.
Leave me alone.
Okay, I will. Okay. Who's next? Me next? Me?
You
You?
next. Yeah, you can be next.
Me? Okay.
Yeah, you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Me.
you.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
You.
Okay. Me. Okay. Me. Go.
Yeah, you go. Guys.
What?
Guys.
What, man?
Doctor's been subscribed for 16 months. That's crazy.
Holy moly! Over a year.
That's crazy.
Who?
It's freaking crazy.
That's freaking crazy, dude.
Who?
Doctor. Chat user. Over there.
Baller.
Baller.
How do I work Discord? I wanna switch to lives, please. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's B time!
Yup. It's B.
Yeah, it's B.
Yeah, it's B.
The third?
The threeth, yeah.
The three?
The three.
What the fuck?
Can I stop sharing my screen?
Yeah!
No.
Please?
No.
Please, God.
Let me
Anyway, this book report's gonna be B. The bear, funny bear. Basics of B. This B is kind of different than the B in the Grand Ghost, and I'll talk about that later. But yeah, so just fresh start. This is B. They're a like they got moved around a lot. They're a postman's assistant, with the postman being their mom. Kind of a little bit standoffish, a little bit kind of not too sociable. But still a bit of a sweetie. If they're given a chance. Yeah. Only child to a single parent, moved around often. Very much kind of like they have each other. But also they've never really been in one place long enough to really make much social connections. And yeah, I don't know. That's just the work. That's just the work of it. They moved to East Hill like a while ago. When Wild Magic starts, I want it to be like kind of close to when they're actually going to move out. Like I think I mean I discussed it when I went over the like the general plot outline thing of like, oh, like usually they would be moving a little bit after like Progress Week or something, or Lamplighters, I think, somewhere between those two. And like Wild Magic kind of starts sort of early spring, so it's somewhat close to that. But by the time it starts, like B's already kind of been in East Hill for like I want to say a little over a year, maybe a little under. I'm not sure. About a year, and has been doing the mail route specifically for the island because their mom Laurel does the mail route for like sort of mainland kind of Dove area ish, and so just passes off any letters for this island to the kid, just like you can just go run around this island for a bit, come back later. You're a full-grown adult. You can do whatever the hell you want. Thanks. And every time that B does the mail route, Mary just fucking tags along and just starts goddamn yapping. And B's like, I barely talk to this kid. I barely talk to this fucking random ass lady that keeps talking to me. I don't fucking know. Originally, I kind of tried to shake them off a little, but they just sort of glued to me, so I don't know. And I mean, you can. It's easy to just be like, okay, yeah, Mary just kind of breaks B out of her shell a little bit, to be like, dude, do you seriously not have any friends? Do I not count as a friend? We've been talking for like a while. It's like, shit. Do I have a friend? I'm not used to having a friend. So of course, I mean, it comes around time for them to move, and B's like, I don't know if I want to move, actually. I'm not sure. I've never actually had a friend before, and I don't really want to, like, gain one and then just have it be like, okay, I guess I'll just fucking write you letters or some shit. I don't know. I don't fucking know. And so she's like, Mom, do we have to move? And her mom's like, I have to move. You don't. You're like 27 or older. I can't actually remember what age I had B at. I think I actually had B at like 28, 29. I'm not sure. But it's just like, you can just stay. But B's like, but then... What am I supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? What? She's fine about it, though. B's okay about it, though. B's fine. B's never not helped out their mom with stuff, so they stay, and they've never really just kind of had any time to be like, well, what do I want to do for myself? They're fine about it. That's okay. It's okay. That's okay. So, yeah. Start of the story, end of the story. Start of the story, standoffish, background character, just, like, wants to not really be noticed much, so that they're not really missing much or missed much when they leave. That doesn't really go to plan. And so they start kind of breaking out of that a little bit, and loosening up a little bit. It's a story about people fucking loosening the fuck up. End of the story. B starts to show some sarcasm, I think, and just kind of a bit of sass, a bit of like that. Usually, what would sort of start as like reluctance or outright denial of like, yeah, no, I don't want to like do anything with you guys, just kind of starts to be like an eye roll, like, yeah, okay, sure, Don't get me in trouble, please. And I do have I do have B getting to like machining and stuff. And like engineering a little bit. I think it would be really funny if B just starts like fucking like apprenticing at a like bicycle repair shop or some shit. I don't fucking know. Just starts going like, I don't know. I wanna. I've never really thought about my own passions. That's interesting to me. Mechanics. I don't fucking know. Can my keys stop working? Okay, there we go. Notable character dynamics. B thinks Mary's annoying. Kind of annoying. But also really enjoys the attention, not used to really having people pay attention to them. People besides their mama pay attention to them. B is fascinated by how observant Amelia is. Amelia thinks B has great intuition. Amelia kind of notes that B has like a good gut for things, I'd say. Like as much as B wants to go like, yeah, no, I don't pay attention to anything. Like Amelia is like, I don't know. I think you do. You just don't know that you know things. You pretend like you don't know things. Basil relates to B for having parents. I established in the crash course that a good amount of kids just sort of pop into being. Nobody needs to have parents specifically. And in fact, Basil and B are standouts in the cast for having parents. In the thing. Laurel is a single mom. There is no like partner that she was with and had B from. B just appeared. And it's just like, oh shit, I have a kid. What the hell? And yeah, so Basil's like, oh cool. It's kind of, I haven't really met too many other kids that have like direct lineage. They have people that take care of them, certainly, but like, I don't know, it's interesting. It's kind of weird. But they do sort of mirror each other because Basil sort of stayed in this small island all their life. And it's like, what's it like to travel? And B's like, it's not all it's cracked up to be. What's it like sort of having a place that you call your own for your whole life? And B's like, not all it's cracked up to be. Jess thinks B's the most patient person on the planet because like, B hasn't killed his sister yet. Pepper's first friend. Pepper, I established Pepper in an earlier thing of the fucking, oh yeah, this was like the calamity of the critter agent. Fucking, it was a force of nature that got brought down and put into exile and sort of mellowed out over a couple thousand years. And its exile finally sort of ended. And like, B is the first person it meets after all of that. It's like, what happened? Do I have to get caught up to things? What's going on? I don't think I like the world still. I'm not going to do anything. I don't really think I like participating. He's like, well, okay. Yeah. And overall, people just kind of like B. As much as B wants to be like, no, I'm unlikable. Everyone's like, I don't know. She's nice. Bonus random info. Loves to swim. Might be good with woodwind instruments. Usually when I'm listening to songs that I like to imagine WoW Magic characters playing, I usually give B the woodwind parts. Not the best at keeping names with faces. Probably just makes up nicknames for people sometimes. Good with directions. I mean, yeah, she spends her days navigating an area. Poor aim, but a delicate touch. Yeah, I don't know, high dexterity. Likes their sandwiches cut diagonal, hates cucumber, has good handwriting, can't compose a poem. Listens to blues, knows a couple fancy dances. I have like 1 or 2 drawings of B just like doing a little dance. I don't know. I think it would be funny if she just sort of knows a ballroom dance for no fucking reason. Thinks alcohol is yucky. Yeah. Loves to walk, hates to run. Yeah. Fascinated by steam engines and bicycle clutches. Can rollers/ice skate. Can drive. Meh at cooking. Can kind of do some pretty nice hash browns, TBH. Some okay hash browns. Yeah. Double bonus, compare, contrast. Like I said, this is not B from the Grand Ghost. In fact, when I was first developing B for Wild Magic, I intentionally developed her as a contrast to B from the Grand Ghost. This is like, you know, you have Grand Ghost B that has stayed in one small town their whole life, and you have Wild Magic B that has moved around a lot. But they've also kind of contrasted the way that Grand Ghost B has had a lot more fucking happen to her. Like, Wild Magic B seems a lot cooler. I think if she went through as much bullshit, she would also be just as fucked up. Yeah. much more able to, like, less polite in a way. Well, less polite in the way that they're just not an experienced server or anything, so they're not really the best with table manners or stuff like that. And also they can throw a punch. They're much more likely to stop taking people's bullshit. Greg Goes B, they're a pushover sometimes. They're starting to not be, but, you know. And yeah, that's it. That's those.
Oh boy.
Hey.
Woo! Woo! Woohoo!
Woo! Woo! Yeah! Woo! Woo!
Scream!
Like handwriting, like incomprehensible.
So what do you think? Questions,
That way.
comments, concerns.
I'm thinking.
We're thinking.
You definitely have the, like, I only wrote down a couple things. I think, what the fuck? It's because we know about B, know so much about B. I wrote down, like, themes, like growing pains, growing apart, coming of age. So definitely, B's story definitely, like, mirrors that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I say this in the most polite way possible.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I love Laurel,
Mm-hmm.
we have a borderline possible toxic parent-child relationship going on.
I love Laurel.
I love both
Laurel
of them
does
to death.
Laurel does her best.
I
Laurel
know.
doesn't do a great job.
Yeah, it's just how you describe their relationship reminds me a lot of coming of age, just a mother and the child the entire time. And like the first movie that came to mind was The Florida Project. So because it's like the most recent one I've seen, but it's always like a mother trying her best and the child running wild. So it's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
but yeah,
I
I love
wanna-
I love those kind of relationships. They develop so well, and they like move past that like toxicity part into something more.
Like I said, a lot of folks just pop up and don't really have parents, and sometimes that means that they're like kind of raised communally, and sometimes that means they're not really raised. Laurel wasn't really raised by people.
Yeah.
She's not used to, like, she doesn't know what it.
By wolves.
She's raised by
learning.
wolves. Yeah, she's
learning
she's
mom.
very
Yeah,
much
raised by
improvising how the fuck to raise a kid.
Yeah, and that's why I wrote like growing pains, growing apart, the coming of age stories and stuff, because it's not just B coming of age. It's mom is working hard too here.
Yeah. Yes.
And cue the Dolly Parton music.
Yeah.
So
Yes. I should add 9 to 5 to her playlist.
I think it works very well. So
I will say, I think you've done a very good job kind of portraying, because, like, I had a friend who is like one-to-one had that childhood of mom and dad lived here, then mom and dad lived there, then we lived there, then we lived there, and turned out shockingly like me. Like, you know, I try not to kind of be very iconic because I know that we're probably gonna not be talking to each other in a few months. We're probably gonna be somewhere else. And I think you've done a very good job portraying the very real reality of a parent situation where children aren't like able to put down roots, kind of social roots. Also, I wanted to say I really like how like there'll be like a story about like a dragon person who just, you know, really likes weather, or you know, a bear who really likes working on computers.
Yeah.
And then there'll be like a decaying force of nature that shows up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll be like, hi. And it's like, okay. Or like there's a space heist.
Yeah.
And it's I don't want to say it's genreless because that sounds kind of like negative.
No,
I
it
think
is sort of
genreless in a good way.
Yeah. Wild Magic as a whole is very much born out of like me going, I don't really know, I don't really want to narrow my scope in too much. But yeah, I don't know.
I think the only other question I had was, is the mechanics thing because of pirates or a genuine addition to Wild Magic?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
It's like how when I first made Lum for a D&D campaign, I was like, wouldn't it be funny to have a D&D character that is studying as like something as mundane to us as meteorology, and then I actually kind of got into meteorology and made a story around that. Like be in the Grand Ghost becoming an artificer, and be in Wild Magic starting to study machining, are both kind of born out of like, this is a profession that I don't really see represented as often in media, and also like I'm kind of into machining and I want a good excuse to talk about that in something I'm making.
I think B needs a motorcycle. I don't know why that just popped into my head just now. Don't listen to me.
B would look awesome on a fucking motorcycle.
I need a picture of that. I just gave you an idea.
Damn.
I will say,
It's like
towards
just
the
popped into my head.
towards the end of your description, I shockingly started to like see a bit of Susie from Deltarune.
They're
Not in like the chaotic, but in like the coming out of the shell, the sarcasm. It very much I started to see just a glint of Susie. That
Thank you.
I
Thank
thought
you
was
for
very
seeing
charming.
that. There very much is. Yes, it's a character trope that I appreciate a lot. Is kind of the like someone who comes off as very standoffish at first, but like does genuinely have a heart of gold and just doesn't really know how to express themselves at all. And Susie really kind of represents that very, very well. Yeah, I don't know.
Also,
There's
a
Wild Magic B is kind of a Deltarune to Grand Ghost B if you think about it.
There was a drawing that you had earlier of B and suddenly can't remember people's names.
Well, there's Mary and there's Laurel.
Mary and the face you gave B is like identical to the face that Julia from Drawfee did
The fucking
when
Bobby
trying
Hill
to
Drawfee
drive.
face.
Yeah, it's trying to draw Bobby Hill from
I knew-
memory,
God
and it looks
damn it.
exactly like the face.
When I do this, I was like, it kind of looks like Drawfee Bobby Hill. I just kept it because it's funny, but fuck, god damn. That's great.
I love.
That's good.
Drawfee Bobby
Recognition.
Hill.
You zeroed right in on two little hidden
I feel like I was very much like feeling your wavelength for this. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. You plugged right into me. Oh, BB.
Yippee.
Oh, goo goo.
Yippee.
Yay. And yeah.
And stuff.
And
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah.
Who's next?
You want me to go? You want me to go?
I can go.
Flip a coin, flip a coin.
I can go. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Have at it.
Have at it. Ooh. Of course, me going means I have to do a bunch of stuff real quick.
Gotta open your things.
Open my things. No. Let me capture what I need to capture. Ah! Thank you. Oh, big.
Share scream.
Scream.
Buttons, where is it?
Show me! Show me!
No, wrong thing!
Show me it!
Wrong lever! Freaking clicking things.
Fun facts.
I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. I'm a mess. As we established earlier, according to everybody, I'm a mess all the time. There we go. Not gonna mess with it anymore. Okie dokie. Oh boy. Probably the hardest task on planet Earth was making this one. Because I will preface, had a brain fart. It's like, I'm fucking on my dude. So, I have a little character book report on Talmai. Talmai Shachal. So, character summary. He's another one of the secondary main characters of Beasts of the Wild. His perspective is meant to help the readers understand where mortals stand within the grand scheme of the story, because he isn't someone who's fully on the side of the gods, but still holds his weight against mortals as well. I wrote down a note like, funny enough, he's just a guy. I don't know what to tell you. And then a little tidbit was like, Talmai is Hanaru, half orc, half Aussie. Grew up
You
in
saying he's just a guy right as I was writing down a guy.
just a guy. At the moment in my brain, just a guy. So he has a little bit more. Making this helped get a little bit more on the table that I realized I didn't have down. So that was helpful. But he grew up mainly in the Aegean Isles, Katona, and a little bit of like an island. So that just gets mentioned, but it's called Zemine. So a little bit on Zemine. He spent most of his childhood with his mother on this island of the Aussie tribes. She taught him a lot of like their history. He's got a little bit of magic to him. His father worked as a liaison between the Draciohan Council in Katona, which is like the government there, and then the Ansari of the Olemis, where the Isle of Zamin is located. So during his adolescence, though, he would move to Katona, where his parents eventually passed due to an illness known as Trulliant. After their passing, he was taken in by the Lunar Sanctum. And then eventually becomes an apprentice to the Eyes of Saren. So, who is he? He's the oldest of our group of heroes. He is most of the time the default leader of the group. Everybody kind of looks at him. It's like oldest sibling syndrome, I feel like. He is like the Rock as well. Like steady, calculated person. He wants to have all the cards on the table before making anything, like any drastic decisions. I wrote down he is a facts over theory person, which aids and hinders. So it's definitely like he wants all the information, wants all the facts, because once you start theorizing, it gets messy quick. So he did grow up with his parents looking to Ferox, the goddess of life, for guidance at times. He did lose his faith after they died, but slowly Flora helped him kind of find a new perspective and like his role and stuff and everything. So he kind of gets a little bit of that back. As like both being a part of like, this is something that was a part of his parents. So it's kind of like a remembrance thing later on. In his teenage years, he did apply for an apprenticeship with the Eyes of Saren. So he could get his hands on specifically information about both gods and the mysterious happenings in the world that have gone unsolved. Yay! So, Julian and the causes behind it. So, the Eyes of Saren is, like, this organization. They are, like, quote-unquote, the Paladins Guild. This is just, people who follow the gods. These are their champions. So, they have a location in Katona called, what's it called? I forgot the name of the building! Conservatory is one of the words in it. I just don't remember the name of the but it kind of acts as like an information hub as well. They record the histories of the gods, their stories, like things, investigate things that happen across the world that may involve the gods, may not involve. So relationships, Sharika, which I've talked about before, that's Vivian's mother. She ends up being a mentor to Talmai when he becomes an apprentice for the Eyes. He does have his own mentor. His name is Jagar Trevini. But they don't get along often, so Sharika looks after him every once in a while. Flora is his partner in crime. Talmai met Flora purely by chance when he was just taken in by the Sanctum. There could have just been an entirely other timeline where she never walked up to him. So, but she's always been like he's the rock for the group, but Flora is his like rock and like just helps him. He finds comfort with her a lot. So, because she helped him deal with a lot like grief and just thinking about life direction. So, Vivian, little sister figure I put down. They were supposedly apprentices at the same time, but Talmai had only heard her name passing and never seen this girl. But when they did finally meet, they did definitely fall into like an easy rapport with each other. They're very, they became very easy friends, and seeing them both on the battlefield at the same time is definitely like, that's scary. So, other than them, Callan, a little bit of a mentee. When they first met, Callan was fairly like nervous or anxious around him, but that was purely because Callan admired Talmai's like confidence. So they end up growing together, both learning how to navigate like their new paths in lives and stuff like that. Still, they butt heads a lot, because they very much have a same like prerogative, being they both want to protect the people closest to them. So like Estelle wants to protect Talon, Talmai wants to protect Flora and Vivian. They eventually want to protect each other and stuff like that. So these two, it's always like, but what about how they see each other? For a long time it was very much like, I don't trust you, but eventually after certain things happen, they do start to fall into that like, I've got your back if you have my back type of relationship. So, and then Eva, who I've mentioned before, becomes sort of like, he becomes like an advisor to her when they join the Grove Wars effort, because Eva's like the leader of all of that hullabaloo, but she's really impulsive sometimes, so Talmai kind of like balances that out. Because when she's going off somewhere, he's like, okay, I got this kind of deal. So, and people kind of look to him for like the set plans while she's like impulse plans. So, but, I just skipped something, there we go. Beginning. So, another soft character arc similar to Vivian and Flora's. He's introduced in a like defeated state, and I've written that scene out. I think that was the scene that I wrote the day we went to a festival in the city. Like everybody showed up and I was like, yeah, I wrote while I was waiting. But I wrote that out. That's how he was introduced. You kind of just get that feeling of like, oh, shit's happened. So we have a couple of mysteries on our hands on this one. But once he gets like back on his feet, kind of like starts to like get into things, he becomes somewhat obsessive in trying to chase after impossible things specifically. So it starts with diving into and investigating the magic disease Trulliant, because it's just something that's been around and it's affected a lot of people, not just him. But this also leads him into investigating the Aliza massacre, which leads them to traveling to where the story begins. So it's all like a little thread line for him, and he's just one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. So it's just like, and everybody keeps telling him like, this is not possible, like you're gonna fail, and he's like, no, I will succeed if I die trying. So the investigations definitely become his driving force, always trying to figure out the bigger picture, and he does have tunnel vision sometimes. He is unable to focus on anything until he's satisfied in a way. But yeah, I found a couple of like just pictures on Pinterest of like what I imagine the eyes of Saren, their little like conservatory type thing going on, libraries and such. So, and considering how the story ends, which I've talked about off screen, will not talk about here, Talmai is definitely left unsatisfied in a way, but it's not as damaging as it would have been if the story didn't happen at all. He definitely continues his work with the Eyes of Saren. He starts to act as a liaison between them, another organization that forms later down the road called Ravenstone, which everybody's probably heard about before from me. He definitely remains close with Vivian, stays alongside Flora in her efforts to reshape her like story and stuff, like specifically the traditions of Lunas, following the events of Beasts of the Wild, and some time before the next story, which is The Whispers Beneath, he takes up an investigation to look into why the Wild Gates closed, along with some missing people cases that start popping up, which I note is another impossible task. So, but has connection to later things. So, some fun facts. He knows several languages because he just grew up in an area of the world where it's like, this is just what he's learned. So they are Figel, Erudite or Erudite, Dreki, Inferian, Kalian, Vaho, and Callan and Estelle have taught him some, like, quote-unquote Elvish. There's another one, but I'm not gonna say that. Talmite does have some magical outside of his Kalian practices, so like his god worship stuff. Considering his Aussie heritage, it's a little bit of like druidism and elemental that fall under the magic guide of core manipulations. So he just rarely uses that stuff. He's like, I have it, but I don't. He doesn't practice enough where that stuff where he's like, meh. So he is the only main cast character that has been to the continent of Alessandri in its soul city, Yokai. So while out in Yokai, he actually met a young woman named Marluna and helped her back to Katona, where she met Vivian and joined her in her travels across the world. That's a story for another day. Another short story on the side that I was like, oh, this would be interesting. Music. Just some music and lyrics that just feel very like, him. So, I think King and the Lionheart definitely pops into my head. And it's like, I was like, fight music? Me and the Devil makes sense. King and the Lionheart is a little softer, but I had a scene in my head how that works. So, I've put someone I used to know up before, Jackie Wilson. That's like, this is giving me vibes. But yeah. And then some more fun quips. He has spent a lot of time sailing, so he knows a fair bit about how to help operate a boat, thanks to Victoria, who is his primary point of contact. He has spent some time in every major city across the world. He has also spent time studying with the elders in Paya, to both understand their way of practice under the gods and some more of his own magical capabilities. His favorite food is salmon, in either like a sushi style, glaze style. Trying to come up like what would it be in that world. I couldn't think of it at the time. He's surprisingly nearly the same height as Estelle. She's 6'2". He's on the road to becoming one of Shrika's seconds, alongside his own mentor and Flora's eventual mentor, Azuris. He has plans to also look into the reasons behind the elemental wars and its connections to the Madrona Shelf, and also has plans to look into the tribal wars and its connection to Truliant, still determined to figure out what it is. So, and I'm only keeping that vague because do they figure it out in the stories? Do they not? Who knows? So, but yeah. But that's about it. That's what I have. So, he definitely was the hardest somewhat to put together, I feel. So, I made like a little symbol for what the eyes of Saren, like their symbol thing would look like. That was just a doodle offhand. But yeah. My little guy. He's
your little
guy.
Yeah.
So, listen, as I go through the characters in these stories, I realize I've got a lot of women. I've got a lot of guys. So,
shakes your fucking
It's very
hand.
heavy
Shakes
women.
your hand.
It's very women heavy. And I'm like, I'm not mad, but at the same time, I feel like I'm missing some good guy characters. I don't have a lot of them.
Shakes your damn hand. Yeah. I like it. I like
need
it.
a variety. In my brain,
It's
I'm
good.
like, you need a variety.
It's good to have. It's good to have. Like someone a little more mundane to have some perspective of just like, this shit's fucking crazy.
And that was like, there's been so many times I've been sitting here and going like, it's that like writer thought where it's like, is this character important enough to be in the story? Yes,
Mhm.
and then the pros of having them in the story, and then no. Side of it. So, and I've debated so long about like, well, if he's in the story, then I can do this with him. But if he's not in the story, some of that stuff that he does in the story needs to be pushed onto other people. And then the plates that, like, for example, the plates that, like, Vivian and Flora are holding, their plates, they were holding physical plates, get so overwhelmed that they start to fall over. And I'm like, I can't do it. So it's just me trying to find a balance of, like, there's stuff that's important for him to be in the story. There are other things that I'm like, he's just a guy and I just want to shake him. I'm like, what are you doing? So he's just looking at me like a ragdoll. I don't know, I'm just here, man. So
Also, I wanna hand him a fucking corkboard and string. Just like...
Oh yeah, he's definitely that type of person to an extent where I think like one of the first scenes I have written between him and Flora is Flora going, relax. Fucking we just got off the boat. We don't have to fucking run and do shit right now.
Just like
He's,
lean
like,
over
playing,
a desk,
she's like, "Ow."
hand on his
Yeah.
temple, like, what does it mean? What
Yeah,
does it all mean?
That's definitely him. So because he is that kind of like, as much as everybody can see, like Vivian does have the same mind, he zeroes in a lot. So and it's like, if anyone's locked in, it's him. I'm locked in and no one can interrupt this shit. So that, and he just has the attitude of like, you're telling me this is impossible? Alright, I'll prove you wrong. So, but it's just built that way. But yeah. My guy.
La la.
I think the name of the Eyes of Saren's place is called the Starlight Conservatory. I have to look that up.
I like the silly guy.
Silly guy.
Silly guy. Just a dude.
If there's any, yeah, if there's anything you guys think I could like develop more of for him, I'm still juggling some things. I'm like, I don't know, man. So
Sometimes you need a character who's just a dude.
he's my dude because I can't make Callan my dude because Callan's got a whole other fucking shit going on. So he's not the normal just a guy. So I sadly just have to have a guy. So. Yeah, his stuff has been the hardest to write, I think, is because I'm hopping perspectives. So when I'm in his perspective, I'm like, ugh! So.
Wow.
But yeah,
Good shit. I like it.
Goody good.
Goody good.
that's good to hear. Better than I keep thinking. So I think I keep overthinking him. So.
Yay!
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 Yeah.
How do I fucking close this? Help!
Yay!
Whee!
Go away, pop out window.
Yop out window.
Yop!
Shit.
Yop out window.
Yeah.
Yop out window.
Yop out window.
Yop.
What's your fucking problem, man? What's your cancer? Toink. Oh yeah.
What are you yelling about?
Yay!
Lock in, man.
No.
Okay.
Walk the fuck in.
No, I don't think I will. Hi, welcome to my presentation. I had another character. This time
Great
it's
name.
about Edie.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
It's a reoccurring question every single time that I have to talk about characters is going to Lyra and saying, hey, which one did we say is which for things?
She's an antagonist, not a villain.
She's an antagonist. She's not.
There's a
evil.
difference.
She's just a little meepy.
Yeah.
She is not set on destroying your protagonists and your main characters. She's on a path of just blocking them a little bit.
She's just doing her own thing. She's just here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an antagonist's desire to dream. About Edith Holloway. That is my meepy. Who is Edith? From an outside perspective, the quiet and elusive Edith is an intimidating figure holding a large amount of vita. Behind closed doors, she is, simply put, clumsy and flustered, and she is trying her best. She is just my little meepy. She is daughter to Lilith, who is, again, the mother of Daemons, the creator of the Primal. And then her papa and her dad, Rapture and Erol. She is created by Lilith directly for magic, combining one of Lilith's feathers and their blood and magic. And it's technically that makes her a primal, but she isn't from the old world where all of them originated in. And she was raised in like the modern Daemon world with all of their modern ideologies and such. She attempts to put up a front of being a strong, good boss who knows what she is doing, and really wants people to think that she always has a handle on whatever situation that they're in. But really, again, she's just a bit of a klutz, and she's very much just the kind of person that'll like apologize to inanimate objects if she walks into them, and bump into a chair and go, "Oh, sorry." I get our important terms. Read it fast. It's gone. Hope or naivety. Edith she oftentimes comes off as naive to people that will stick around for any amount of time to have an actual conversation with her or actually listen to any of the announcements on Liquidator Affairs that she puts out, instead of just being intimidated by what she is, because again, she is the daughter of Lilith, and that is spooky because that correlates her to being a primal, and everybody's kind of spooked out by those. Everybody knows that primal are dangerous, that they're put away in their little separate dimension for public safety. But then here comes this girl leading a group of 4 of them, and she say that they're going to be public servants and that they're going to show that they can be safely integrated into modern Daemon society, and that's crazy. That's crazy. The fuck are you talking about? But she very much is just like, no, trust me. This is good. This will be good. Trust me. So that's not a very like. To a lot of people, it doesn't seem like a very, like, thought-out idea. But it's not really something that, like, they have much sway over. With where they are in Tokyo, I think I mentioned it later on in the presentation a bit more, but, like, the only one that really has even like a little bit of sway over it would just be like the governor of Tokyo, and that's just because that's where they're working, that's where they function out of. It is the capital of this place that everybody's in. And so even then, it's kind of like she has to get like signed off permission to do stuff. So like it wasn't entirely like she just showed up and was like, hey, I took these 4 things out of that place where they're supposed to be locked in forever until we figure out how to deal with them, and now I have them and they're out here. We're gonna play toys. It was like an actual long, tiring process that she had to go through to be able to basically like jump through the legal hoops to be able to do. It goes into her mission in more detail. Is the Liquidators, and they're kind of a social experiment in that aspect. So like I said, she proposed that the Primal World no longer need to be separated from modern world, and it would be safe to integrate them into the modern society. With permission granted under council, Edith has selected the Cardinal Four as her example group. And under her watch, the Anomaly Liquidators, which is the full title, are tasked with hunting down and destroying anomalies that are found around the world, which again is the leftovers from the Convergence, where Vita Garage and weird. Where was I? The Cardinal Four are primal from the old world. Like most -1 are. They're also known as the Gate Guardians, though, and their names come from their designation at the gates in each cardinal direction that connected Feyricha to Terra, and those 4 were tasked with essentially keeping things on correct sides of the gates, and they're basically guard dogs, which means that their job was protecting, and that past is what made them be good test candidates for her plan. Because she thought it would be easier to adapt that old task to what they're doing now. So she did her research before jumping into this. Her outlook, she's actually somewhat of an optimist. Most of her core values and everything, they're based off of optimism and hope, despite being the antagonist. Like the core of her reasoning for making the Liquidators is the hope for a different future for the Primal, and that's of course challenged not only in like their daily life from everybody, but especially the existence of Josie in general is a challenge to that. Because Josie is, according to everything that they have at their disposal for tools, is an anomaly. And they're supposed to get rid of those, except Josie's just seems like a normal ass person. So they have to figure out how to deal with that shit. And it's confusing. Because I feel like the other 4 are just kind of at Edith's her whims. Like they have to listen to her. She is in charge of them. If she could just put them back, basically. But Edith is like, she's the kind of person to set her own rules for things and be like, okay, gotta follow those rules for these things. But then Josie is just like fundamentally just so different from what those rules were. That is very challenging for her to deal with. And like, the role of following her, like why switch over to having this different POV from Josie and Sora, even though they're the main people, is that Edith and her team, they're meant to give you a separate outlook on the world that the story takes place in. Josie and Soraya, they're much more focused in, and it's more focused on what they're doing and what they're trying to solve. Meanwhile, the Liquidators, it's more of a big picture story with them. And more so what's happening everywhere else at the same time. But at the same time, her views offering more insight onto the things that Josie and Soraya are getting into, because they know more about the stuff that those two are trying to look into and find out. But her relationships just made me a little sad writing, gotta say. Oh, horrible spelling mistake, don't look at it. Outside of the Liquidators, Edith doesn't really have any deep connections with people. She interacts with plenty of people. She knows plenty of people. The list of people that she can get in contact with is extensive. But most of them do not know her as an individual. To most people, she's either just like a boss, a descendant of Lilith, a scary, primal, adjacent daemon thing, or if you're the governor, she is a nuisance to you. And besides that, people don't really talk to her. It's kind of like, it's like the feeling of like when she like walks into a room with people is like the feeling of when like your boss's boss comes into your workplace. And you're like, oh shit, okay, hi. Time to be uber respectful and polite and play nice. But her start versus end is when you first meet her, it's from Josie and Soraya's point of view, so it starts out like your view of her is supposed to start out pretty negative. And as it progresses and you move into the Liquidator's point of view, you get to know more of her as a person. So it is kind of like forces you into the viewpoint of like how people view her. Because you start off, you just see like her from the outside. You do not get to know her, and then we go into their half of the story, and you get to know her and the other four like as actual people. She begins. She's very serious. She's by the rules, like I said. Like she makes up her own moral set, her own rules. She's got to follow those. But slowly she loosens up and, fortunately or unfortunately, who knows, turns into a whatever to get the job done kind of person. But if that job stays the same thing that it starts as, who knows? Her playlist, half of it is just instrumental music, half of it is little songs. Explanations? No. Don't have them. A lot of it is just, she's spooky, and then a lot of the instrumentals go more into, like, a lot of how I imagine, like, makes me think about, like, her fight style and stuff. That's for another time, probably. Is she? My Mibi. Yay! My Mibi. And then look at all of the other ones got designs now too, finally. Hooray! Even though they're just these little beans. Little bean versions of them. Her, Edith. And, Papa is texting me. Okay. Edith and Ginny, Laura, Marv, Ryder, my guys, my schmoops. Then I got everybody. I got all the fuckers here.
Woo!
And we've talked about this before, but now you can see it. Josie and Sora may look very little here, but they are not. These are normal ass size people. I think when you get to Edie, I think she is like 6'2".
Damn.
So that's where it starts. That's your level. Right there.
Jeez.
Big fuck. This is big fuck over here.
What are they doing hunting down anomalies? The Lakers need you.
The Lakers need you.
The Lakers. The fuck? I just got done writing Writers Built.
This
You're
fridge.
the Laker. Yeah, you're the Lakers. I was gonna write Built like a brick house.
Turn
but-
sideways to walk through doors.
Yeah. You
Wicked
joke,
crap.
but yeah, actually. They do have to crouch down to walk through doors. Because normal modern day daemons are not built like that. They, again, Prime will contain a shit ton more Vita in them. Which is a bit more power, more energy. More.
Power. More.
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 These are just our normal guys. There's a line right here. Our normal guys are not normal guys. And all their matching little assets that Edie makes them wear.
Because we're a team.
We're a team, guys. Gotta represent. What the fuck? But that's it.
Yay!
That's all I wrote.
Woo! Yahoo! I like that. Like, she's someone who is in a very threatening position and is just there like, I am literally nice. I'm trying my best to do shit by the book and everyone else is fucking it up for me.
Yeah, I like how they're kind of the opposing perspective, like you were talking about, like you're kind of seeing the opposite end of the story through their position. I like that. I also I like that effectively this kind of like ancient form of super nature is like clumsy. I find that very kind of that very nice, that this, you know, kind of elder demon thing is like trips and stuff is
She's
very
just, she's just gonna
is
trip
silly.
on the cobblestone in the road. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if a 6'1" person trips on cobblestone, I'm running.
I will be worried about it.
I think it was someone who was a character designer on Pokemon or something was talking about how just like the a core sort of rule they would keep to is that if they're making a design that's so cool, they have to give them at least one uncool thing, and if they're making something so uncool, they have to give them at least one cool thing. I think it's good to have a character so cool and you just sort of give them like just a little flavor of like, oh yeah, okay, they're just a little silly with it.
So just a little silly with it.
Just a little silly with
Just a
it.
little silly with it. I think it's funny with being a little bit of a klutz and all of that too. Her in like mentioning her fighting style, her weapon, she uses a polearm to fight. She's
gonna be balanced as
a
fuck.
big ass fancy polearm to fight.
Probably the hardest fucking thing to wield.
So just her fucking fighting style is that just like, I'm tall and I have a long ass weapon, I'm just gonna be over here, okay?
I'm tall, I'm
I'll
clumsy,
be-
but
I'll
I
be
can wield
over
this
here.
thing that requires immense balance and skill. so
Don't be close.
I like that she has become a incredibly great foil to Josie. They're like pure opposites, and it's like I like this. This is amazing. The pessimism versus the optimism. So, and if you go even further, Josie is definitely like, you can, through what you've explained so far, you can definitely single Josie out as an individual. Meanwhile, Edie is always seen as anything but that, so she's never seen as just a person herself. She's always an extension of something else. So it's like they have very, very good opposing features. So which builds into like the perspectives and the telling the story from both of their viewpoints. So
my girl's out here being a figurehead.
Yeah.
yeah, I put down like the lonely child trope. It's like oh, that's Edie. She's just part of the Liquidators, or she's Lilith's daughter. Like she's never just, oh, that's Edie. Like it's always, oh, her Edie plus whatever's tagged on her name after her. So like she needs an explanation. So, and it's like, no, she doesn't need an explanation. She could be her own person, and I want to see that develop in the story itself. Well, so yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yippee.
Yippee!
Guys, we did it.
Guys, we did it!
We did it.
Now we know everything!
Now we know everything ever.
Ever!
We know everything ever about all of it.
Yup!
Y'all.
Yup!
I meant
Yup!
to show this earlier, but I forgot to add it to Canva.
Oh.
I have more.
Ooh, the Eye of Morak, by the way.
Logue.
This is the only like imagery we get of them.
Fuck yes.
Yuppie.
Fuck yes.
We've done it. We've yapped.
We've done it! We've
You're
yapped!
getting better at this. You're more efficient in yapping.
Very good, concise
Only-
yapping.
It's only been 2 hours.
Yeah.
So
We went from talking for 6 hours to talking for 2 hours.
we're getting more concise and more pointed and directed.
What's everybody gonna talk about next time?
Next time, I might take a break from Wild Magic for a second to talk about a different project.
Whoa.
Yes. Whoa.
Whoa.
I mean, Wild Magic is still constantly going in the background, but I mean, I just want to present on another project next time.
Whoa.
I'm not really giving you guys a choice because the last 2 choices are Estelle and Callan, and we're not doing Estelle. She will be the last one, so Callan is. So character-wise, and then after that, I don't fucking know. Like after them two, it's like I can start going into the next cast and the next story, but I don't know.
I think for the next thing, I might focus on the deep.
I like the deep
But-
is spooky.
I think my only note on the deep was the deep be acting like the fucking back rooms. So,
Yeah,
Backrooms.
it's effectively like the Metro backrooms or like Fallout backrooms.
yeah,
I
so
think I
Callan.
do another character.
Yay!
Yay.
Who haven't you done yet?
I've only done. This is only my 3rd character.
I was gonna say, I feel like we have.
I feel like the one I did on Marp, that one doesn't count. That one was so
Yeah.
rushed.
we can always revisit. Part of me wants to ask for Laura.
Oh, big buff, beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the brick shit house known as Ryder.
Fucking 7-foot tall fish. What are you doing hunting down anomalies?
I have Callan next, and that's going to be the most vague ass presentation. So you guys are gonna need to use heavy context clues because there's gonna be a lot of asterisks there. So because I can only explain so much on his end. Same with Estelle. They're both gonna get really difficult to explain. So, and if I don't have enough content, I will do both of them at the same time.
That might be cool.
Why not? Because they are they technically are a pair. So
no, never mind.
Okay. All right.
what?
Never mind. Bored that thought immediately the second I had it. No.
I speak, but
No
then I don't.
speaking.
No, I was gonna be like, oh, combine multiple, but just so I could get through them faster, but
No, I think yours.
No.
I think all your guys's weren't like you can. I was just like because I have to keep so much secret on Callan and Estelle's end, like I can't share that because it's spoilers for the story that I might not have enough content, so I might just put them together, like squeeze them together. So, yeah.
I just have other things to talk about
Mm-hmm.
besides people.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's definitely like the small things I could talk about, organizations, specific happenings in the world. So
I think I do it. I think I gotta talk about magic.
Yay!
I think I gotta do it.
your magic
Yay!
system.
Magic system rundown.
Oh no.
Trust me,
Guys, if we do that, we get to talk about cannibalism.
Hooray!
Oh,
Guys,
I could
isn't
talk about
that
that for a
dangerous?
while.
We circle back around. You guys, there's a reason that they're dangerous.
Mm.
I did write down on the notes ideas and like because we were talking about creating OCs for each other's universes. I wrote down my ideas on the notes on the funny little note thing.
Wait, did you?
I'm still thinking on the paradox end, but
Oh,
that
Maybe
one's gonna
system.
take a second. So
oh, if you just.
'cause I do have thoughts, I just don't have solid thoughts.
If you just.
I would just say, just keep in mind it is a vaguely steampunky fantasy world.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Mhm.
I got you.
You can't tell by staring at them. And all their fancy little outfits.
You think I don't know that? I got you.
Dude, I will smile so wide if I'm presented some wild magic OCs. It'll be fun.
I wrote
I
down,
already told you,
I want
I'm
to
going
make
to make a wild magic OC, and they will make out with Lum, and nobody can stop me.
You
I wrote down.
you can fucking Yume ship with love. That's fine. Unfortunately,
You
it
wish
won't.
with Lum so hard.
I don't know to what degree that'll make it into the actual story because that does get in the way of an actual character arc.
Yeah. No. I'm concocting a bird or a deer in my head for magic. So I gotta think a little bit more on it. For some reason, it's for Morak. I was like, I want to be a ghost.
I want to be
Whatever
goop.
I want to be a ghost. So,
I want to be goop.
I want to haunt people. But yeah.
I want to be made
Like I
of
said,
goop.
Paradox will eventually come. I'm concocting something. Yeah, I'm concocting something. So it's just not solid yet.
Be sure. See,
I'll get
you can
there.
You can be just a person, or you can be a fucking fish. The scale. The scale is person, furry, or fish.
Wanna be a
Funny enough, I was already thinking like just person, but that is in the same. Soraya's apothecary. So like just a guy. So.
Well, it was funny when you were talking about me earlier. Context, everybody, is that this is our conversations for the day. Was going, hee hee. What if we made OCs in each other for like each other's worlds, like we be each other's fandoms. Which is why I'm human shipping with Lum, and I'm gonna kiss her and marry her and love her so dearly. But Lyra, you also were mentioning just like cameos of people's like actual characters and shit. You said that, and I went, I'm putting fucking Lillian in the apothecary shop. She's gonna be shopping in the background.
I have gone back and forth in my mind to what degree I can have like Grand Ghost cameos in Wild Magic.
Yes. See, my world is fairly easy, and I explained that earlier. I was like, my world is fairly like the areas I've concocted like Katona, for example. It's that like desert kind of vibe city, so my brain is like, yeah, no, I could easily stick Sol and Lum there. So
yeah,
or like I can easily in my mind I can easily imagine like BB and Laurel being in like Hopewell and stuff like that. Like I can easily imagine certain places. Other characters I have difficulty with, and I even went but I need an extra character, and the only thing in my mind is Fifi. So I was like, can I borrow Fifi real quick?
Hey man, just take her.
So, because she fits the vibe so well, and it was a scene between like Reina and Fifi, and my only thought was Reina, 15-year-old girl looking up and going, oh, beautiful woman. So I'm just like, wow, I'm in a different place entirely, and that is a gorgeous woman. So and she's so kind. But my brain was like, I just need to write the scene, but I'm missing someone, and I don't have someone. I'm just going, can I borrow Fifi for a second? So, but yeah, there's a lot of places.
You can borrow her, you don't even gotta return her.
Okay. She might just be there. The cameo, the prime cameo. She's got a speaking role, guys.
She has a line.
So she's got lines. So, but yeah, I can easily, like, in my mind, it's high fantasy and we all play D&D. Slip people
to
in
be fair, I
various places.
I think Lum and Sol would just chill anywhere.
Oh yeah.
So you can shove them in a fucking jungle and they'll just be like, yeah, alright.
Yeah, okay.
Like I can see
Yeah, sure.
like Aviva and all of them being like a noble family, Saramasta. So like I can see this in my mind. I mean, you guys know the origins of how my story started. It started on D&D, so this is easy. Imagine people in various places. So.
Yup.
If you want to make new ones, just let me know.
Fine, could be fun.
And hey,
could be fun just to do it just cause.
I can give you any place in the world. Or you can just make a person and I can tell you where they're from and give you the history behind it.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah.
Fuck.
I think there's only like
yes.
For the most part, it's like most of the areas are somewhat developed in my mind. I think the only area that's not developed is like in my brain I go, it's the land of the giants, basically, like that area. So, but even like the Soul City over on the continent that I'm not going to talk about, it's just fun facts. So, like, even I know what that city in my mind looks like and the vibes it gives. So, that's where Reina's mom is from. So.
Yeah. Yay.
But yeah.
But yay.
But yeah.
But yeah,
But yippee.
yippee. However,
However,
considered yippee.
consider
Yippee. However, have you considered sad?
No.
Oh,
Sad all the time.
No.
Consider sad.
No.
I have a-
Say,
That's not allowed.
I have.
sad-ass.
I mentioned two
sad-ass
OCs
moments in
earlier,
yippee
and they made me
history.
sad. So
Badass moments in yippee history.
Consider fear. Consider fear. And I just start to like move towards you without moving my legs.
Just repeating it over and over.
And I just have my arms crossed. And I'm just like one eyebrow up at you, like, yeah.
I just start to like slowly move forward without moving my legs. Consider fear. Consider fear.
Sphere.
Yeah, considered it considered, bud.
Yeah. I think I
Consider
consider
sphere.
consider sphere.
I considered dinner. It's not for me. Sorry.
I consider dinner. Yeah. What else?
I don't know.
I stopped my recording, so I'm good. No, I mentioned two OCs earlier, and they made me sad. I was like, what the fuck? So
Damn.
I made a chat in like my private server to remind me what their story is. Yeah, that's a bummer,
Well,
man.
everybody just has their own. This
So-
is my Discord for me only.
Yeah.
Well, I needed a place to keep like my notes organized for the books, and I couldn't just write it in anymore.
Yeah, I have
Something
I
digital,
have my
So
personal little Discord. Thinking about a majority of basic Wild Magic notes are in like a friend's server because I have a Wild Magic channel in there and I get asked a bunch of questions in it.
That's what
So
very funny. My server is nowhere near as organized as any of the other servers that I make are. I have 2 channels.
Awesome.
sorry.
Awesomes.
I have you guys beat on organization.
Who just did what? Oh. Ooh. Ooh.
My favorite, the most used chat in here is the quotes to be used as book editors. So, yeah.
I'm not fucking sharing my Discord server. That shit's private.
No, I can share
This
it.
is
I don't
between
care.
me and Discord.
It's
Yeah.
between me and God.
It's not like you guys haven't seen this shit before.
Yeah.
Yomp.
Yomp.
Well, I think we're done.
Well, yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
That's the happy hour, guys.
we yapped it.
Fucking like speed ran it.
Damn.
I told you we're getting better at this.
Took some good notes too. I feel good. I feel good about it.
This feels weird. I guess we're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Tune
we
in
did it.
next. Tune in next time.
Tune in next time. Next month, maybe sometime.
Probably
Hopefully.
late next month or early the month after. I'm gonna be moving.
You're gonna be moving. August is really busy, actually.
August might be really busy for a
Maybe
lot.
for you guys, I'm doing nothing.
August is really busy for everybody except for Lyra.
Well, then, Lyra, how about you do some fucking streams, brother? How about you do some fucking?
Oh,
How about you do some story
Listen.
development streams or some shit?
If you want me to fucking stream, someone needs to help me fix my PNG. So that's why I didn't use it tonight. It's making me angry. So, that's like the only thing I'm missing, and it's pissing me off.
thing that I do.
So,
Anyways.
Yeah.